Hey guys, this is Anthony, the MMA and political analyst. We're going to talk a little bit more about politics. We're going to do a follow up on the Sergeant Bowe Bergdahl case. I think it's important that we kind of follow up a little bit because I think the criticism of the president has kind of reached a fever pitch. And the people I blame for that are the president's political advisory team. I don't know who these people are. I don't know what they do for a living. I don't know where they got educated at, but these people suck. And if I were the president, I would fire every single one of them. Every single one of them. I read in one of these stories, and I've read a lot of stories about it recently, that the administration was surprised of the reaction they got from the right wing after they announced that Sergeant Bergdahl had been released. They were surprised that, Glenn Beck, Sean Hannity, Bill O'Reilly, those types of people in the right-wing media, they were surprised at their negative reaction toward the release of Sergeant Bergdahl. And for whatever reason had figured that because it was a U.S. soldier that they'd be happy about it. And they'd be rejoicing and be happy that our soldier came home. And so they were kind of caught off guard when this whole thing happened. I mean, if that's true, then all of you are the most completely inept and incompetent crew of political advisors I have ever seen. And if I were the president, I'd be like, don't even bother with this whole 2 weeks thing. Just roll out right now. Okay, look, I talk about politics mainly for fun. Okay, it's just kind of like a little hobby of mine, I guess, on the side. But even I knew it doesn't matter what this president does. They're not going to like him. You think Sean Hannity was going to come out and be like, oh, yeah, great job, Mr. President. Way to get our soldier home. You think he was going to do that? Are you insane? I mean, how incompetent are you? You thought that Bill O'Reilly was going to give the president a pat on the back and say, good job, Mr. President. You did the right thing by getting this soldier home. You thought that? You thought that just because it's an American soldier, everybody was going to be happy? Just because these guys talk about how they support the troops, that they could care less about the troops. Really? You think Bill O'Reilly actually cares about soldiers or whatever, the military? I don't care about us. Okay? Not only when it suits his ideology, yeah. If he wants to go to war with somebody, oh yeah, he's all about the troops then. But then when we have to do the unfortunate things we need to do to get the soldiers out, oh no. Now we can't do that because that would be, negotiating with terrorists and whatnot. Come on, man. I mean, I find that to be outrageous. I read that quote and I was like, wait a minute, man. I got to go back and read that again. These guys are surprised that the right wing had a negative reaction. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I think the Obama administration did the wrong move when the way they announced it. If they would have just came out from the beginning and said, hey, look, this soldier, the circumstances of his disappearance were kind of questionable. We don't know about that. But first priority is to get the soldier home. After that, we'll figure out what happened and we'll go from there. And they should have just left it at that. But unfortunately, they sent all their people out and they tried to do some kind of positive media campaign about how it was great and everything else and try to score some political points. And they just walked right into a right hand. They walked right into a Sean Hannity right hand, right down the middle. And that was a terrible mistake on their part. Okay, they knew the soldier had a questionable past, and there was no reason for them to try to, spin this as in a positive light. No reason to do that. No reason at all. Especially knowing, or at least should have known the reaction they were going to get from the right wing. Even if this was more of a rosy case, let's just say the soldier did, had a more exemplary record. They would have still been like, oh, look at that, negotiating with terrorists, showing signs of weakness, and all this other crap. There's nothing this president can do to impress the right wing. It's not going to happen. This president could turn around right now and be like, you know what? After all these years, I'm sorry. I'm just going to go ahead and reverse all my position, and I'm now going to pursue a Tea Party policy. Whatever the Tea Party wants, I will do that for the rest of my presidency. You think that would get them on your side? No, that wouldn't get them on your side. They'd turn around and be liberals then. Okay, you want to pursue a liberal agenda and get the country behind a liberal agenda? Then just say you're a Tea Partyist. Say you believe in the Tea Party and watch how fast they switch. Go ahead and do that, Mr. President. Guarantee it. Okay? They do not like you, Mr. President. They never will. And mainly I'm speaking to the president's political advisory team. They do not like the president. They never will. So stop trying. Stop trying to impress them. They're never going to like you. Just do what you got to do and roll out. Now, for on to just the Sergeant Bergdahl himself again. I'm going to just reiterate the same point I made in my last video. He's still a United States Army soldier who's captured. We don't leave our people behind. So if that means, unfortunately, we have to release some Taliban prisoners, then that's just what we got to do. It was unfortunate, and you could say, hey, I would have not made that deal. I would have tried to push for a better deal. Perfectly fair point. I don't know. Okay, I mean, luckily I was not the person who have had to make that decision, but neither were you. Okay, the commander-in-chief and all the advisors and all the generals and everybody involved made the decision to release these prisoners to get our guy back, and that's what they did. Now, again, like I said last time, hopefully he will be charged. Hopefully he'll get investigated, charged, and or whatever needs to happen. And this, hopefully he faces some accountability on our side for whatever actions he took. I hope that happens. But I want that to happen here with us, with the Uniform Code of Military Justice, that every soldier is subject to. Not some weird Taliban justice. I don't want to have him face that. That's not what we're fighting for. That's pretty much all I want to say on this. It's just I find it surprising that it seems like even a lot of my fellow soldiers, unfortunately, are just seemingly turning their back on this guy. And I know they're gonna say, oh well, he turned his back on us. Maybe he did, but we'll find that out. He will have his day in court, and we'll find that out. And after that, great, let's put him in jail again, or whatever we need to do. But it needs to be done here, with us. That's all I'm saying. This is Anthony, the MMA political analyst. I'll talk to you.